When we think about what makes a vehicle fast or capable, we look under the hood. A massive, powerful engine feels like the only thing you need to get moving. But if you take that exact same engine and drop it into a heavy pickup truck, and then into a lightweight sports car, you get two completely different driving experiences. The problem is that raw engine power is basically unusable on its own. The crankshaft spins incredibly fast, but it lacks the actual twisting force, the torque, needed to push a heavy object from a dead stop. To fix that, the engine relies on a hidden mechanical translator. Every single time you press the accelerator, a split-second negotiation happens beneath your feet. This negotiation answers to a strict physical law. You can take your engine's rotational energy and trade it for speed, or you can trade it for pushing force. You can never have both in equal amounts. The entire process relies on a very simple mechanism, a small gear meshed directly with a larger one. With fewer teeth, spinning the small gear one full rotation pushes the larger gear a fraction of the way around. You've slowed the speed, but the energy remains. It converts into a massive twisting force on the large gear. Slower rotation, but much stronger. This exact trade, speed for strength, happens twice inside every standard car before power ever hits the pavement. The first intervention point is the transmission. It acts as a variable translator, physically swapping between different gear ratios to keep the engine operating within its most efficient range, its power band. Without those multiple options, you'd be stuck choosing between gearing that barely lets the car crawl away from a stop sign, or gearing so aggressive the engine redlines just to maintain highway speeds. But the transmission doesn't work alone. A second permanent gear reduction hides at the back of the car, known as the final drive. Unlike the transmission, the differential never shifts. It provides one fixed, massive ratio that multiplies the transmission's output one last time before it reaches the wheels. The actual equation reveals the trade-off. Engine RPM equals speed times final drive ratio times 336.13 divided by tire diameter. Increase the final drive ratio for more force, and the engine is forced to spin at a higher RPM just to maintain cruising speed. There's also a silent physical variable at the end of the equation, your tire diameter. A larger tire covers more physical ground per rotation. That means if you simply bolt larger tires onto a truck, you effectively loosen the gear ratio without a mechanic ever touching a wrench. The math shifts instantly, which is why your speedometer and fuel economy are immediately thrown off. You can see this math pushed to its absolute limits on a drag strip. A dragster is a machine engineered strictly to generate off-the-line force. Because a drag car needs instant torque multiplication to launch violently off the starting line, builders use numerically high final drive ratios. They purposefully sacrifice the ability to sustain a comfortable high-speed cruise. Now compare that to its exact mathematical opposite, a standard economy sedan designed to sip fuel on long highway commutes. These vehicles utilize numerically low final drive ratios. They trade away aggressive low-end acceleration for a quiet, low RPM efficiency that extends engine life over hundreds of thousands of miles. Interestingly, the modern electric vehicle sidesteps this multi-gear problem entirely. And while it feels like new technology, we've seen EVs operating on this alternative mechanical logic for over a century. An electric motor efficiently produces massive twisting force across a huge range of speeds. Because it doesn't have a narrow power band like a combustion engine, it rarely needs a shifting transmission. It can rely on one single fixed gear reduction directly from the motor to the wheels. Every vehicle on the road is a deliberate physical answer to a mathematical question. Because unlimited top speed and unlimited pushing force cannot exist at the same time, an engineer simply decides how much of one they will trade for the other.